Everyone, thank you for joining me. This is Connie with Prairie Paper Crafts. Today I'm going to share with you the slider treat box that I'm making for my mother. Just had for the Andes cream to mint, thin mint package. Got it at the store. I'll show you how to do the slider box in the dementia. Goodness. In the description box, I will share with you also how the dimensions, for like a Hershey's full-size candy bar. And I'm going to also be sharing with you my popcorn boxes, so you get an idea of all my treat boxes that I made for my coworkers. But first of all, what I'm going to do is just put together this paper piece that I'm going to be using on top of my slider box. And this comes from Cuddly Cute Designs. Today is Sunday the 2nd of February, and this is still free, and I want to thank Tammy for the free files she shares with us for all of the designers. It's just a fun way to get used to using their files. Lots of fun things you can do with this. This is the Hugs and Kisses title. Using it a little bit different than for a scrapbook page. I don't do as much scrapbooking as I used to, so I'm going to do this. This would be cute on a card or definitely on a scrapbook page. But if you don't get the freebies, I can encourage you to do that, even if you think, well, maybe it's not something you're going to use, because I've definitely had a few of those. I've gone back and made those at a later date, thought, okay, this is what I'm going to do with it. They've become some of my favorite files, so don't ever think, well, I'm not sure. Grab it anyway, because you'd be surprised later on. So I cut this to start, so from the end of this heart here, basically over, just to give you a fairly close idea, it's about 4 inches. And then whatever Design Space decides to give it the full size, it's probably about 3 inches from the top here down to the bottom. So I'm going to try to stay in frame as much as I can today. I do apologize. I tend to just start working and kind of forget about that. So this is my next piece. I don't remember the colors I used. I've had this done for a little while. Just kind of gotten kind of busy and things, life happens. So wanted to come on and get this done. On my pink pieces, I have to get some new pink ink. Just not real thrilled with that in my yellow colors. So I got a little bit of glue here and let it dry. It'll come off because it is the beacon, so it comes off really easy. But I'm going to set this aside for a little bit. I'm going to bring in the Hugs and Kisses piece and work on that. And make sure I get it going the right way. This is metallic paper. I apologize if it's a little bit of a glare. I did not ink the edges of this. I sometimes smear more than it's worth. So obviously this is upside down if you can't see, and I can tell from the word hugs. Okay, good, right? So let's go ahead and get this piece, and this is the white shadow piece, so we're good to put just this piece on. I have not put this together before, so just so you are aware that, as in all of my paper piecing, I'm sure I will have to probably come back and take something apart. And I'm only using the beacon for certain pieces of this, but it gives me more wiggle room. It's larger, so you try to keep this again on frame. I'm so sorry. I'll get there. All right. And I really like this pattern and the title specifically. I'll tell you why. It's got just a very, very thin line on the shadows. I love that. Sometimes it's kind of big and it's okay, but I like this because once you get it on here and you get the other colors on top, you're going to find out it's amazing. It really just makes it pop. And I followed the colors fairly close to what was on the photo. Obviously change your colors up. It kind of went with the colors I'm using for the treat box. So, okay, we're going to work on this. I have the computer up over here because again, this is the first time I put this together and I want to make sure I make as quote unquote few mistakes as possible, which, you know, happens to all of us. That's how we learn. And I am friends on Facebook with one of the designers from Little Scraps of Heaven Designs. You guys probably know Sarah Ruth, and she was sharing some stuff. And yeah, it's nice to see that other people make mistakes, or not necessarily mistakes, but the trials and errors, things that, you know, they find that didn't work. Maybe you want to try this instead. So I think that's great to share. I really appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to put kisses on next. This again out of metallic paper. Did not cut it, or did not ink the edges. I have just found that metallic paper, when I do inked edges, all I end up with is a humongous mess. Now, I want to put this just at a little bit of an angle because this little tiny, kind of like a circular part, whatever, that actually is for the top of the eye to go in there. It's got enough room. It's just fascinating for me sometimes how these cuts all can go together and just follow the pattern, the layout, and it just all fits, you know? Amazing. And I wanted to share with you, we have sunshine today. I don't know the temperature, I have not been out, but it is melting like crazy. It was supposed to get to about, I think, 50 degrees if I heard correctly. I have to go out and take advantage of it in a little while because I just saw in the news here earlier, the western part of the state next to us is in for a snowstorm, so more than likely in the next couple days it will be visiting us. So excited. And you know, it's crazy. It's got to be very nice out to be melting. It's, you know, only the 2nd of February. Water running everywhere, and I'm froze. Isn't that just how things go? Pray because the furnace doesn't need to run much. Or it could be just that, you know, my circulation's kind of wacky. You could do so much with this title. Again, I did not do a lot of embellishment work on the pieces, but I'll give you some ideas here in a moment. I just want to get this popped on, and I'll get my letters on. But okay, like, you know, you have these little hearts. You could put those through a Cuttlebug folder. Get that going the right way. You could add some Wink of Stella or something, some kind of glitter to them. You know, my mother is not always the biggest, she's, you know, she likes this stuff, but sometimes less is better. Sometimes, how do I say, a little bit more refined, or, yeah, she's not a glitter fan like her daughter here, but that's why I just kind of keep things a little bit simpler depending upon the person. I tailor it to whoever I'm making it for, honestly. So, and I'll show you another thing I did, and I think I put these on wrong. I'm not taking them off. Yeah, I did. Well, okay. There's a little bit more of a angle to one side than the other. Oh, just one moment. I gotta go back to my computer here. One moment. I apologize. Yeah, just to close everything out. But the more pointed part should go to the bottom, whereas I have it going at the top. So I just wanted to give you a heads up there. Again, she won't notice it. I do. You guys only know because I, told you. But I know when I was putting it together, I had a struggle seeing because sometimes the light's not the best. So just if you're interested in knowing that. And get back to my free part. I'm watching the H, how it goes. It's not this way. The bar across is at the bottom, which, pretty much makes sense for the font that was used, but there again, just little things I kind of watch for. And doing this upside down, sideways, can be a challenge sometimes. So, let me find my U. These little letters also, I did not ink the edges. Sometimes when it's that small, I don't. And again, it's a treat container. I don't know if it'll be kept. If it was for scrapbooking layout, I would definitely be inking them. Another thing you could do between the layers, between the white and the base layer of the title, you could put some foam tape. You could do that between the hearts here also. You could layer them, pop them up. So yeah, lots of things you could do. And find my S. My mouse is in my way. I'm sorry. Gotta get that thing out of the way so I can move. Okay, and then we've got the two. Oh goodness, I do have them left. I think I probably inked these the right direction. I just didn't put them on the right way, but this glue, yeah, not gonna try and fix it. I'll just have a big old mess. So it's all good. Like I said, we just won't tell her. She doesn't watch my videos, so I'm good. Okay, got that done. And before I put that on, I want to take my light pink heart and put here. If another one goes on top, I'm just kind of trying to get everything figured out here. And then there's this little one, and it'll go on there. This can kind of go on at your own discretion because there's no set way on the file, that there's no spot specifically for it. I'm just going to put this on where I kind of want it so I can get my other two hearts placed on there. My mom's not also, or she also is not a big candy fan. I don't know, I think I must have gotten that from my grandfather. He was a huge candy, anything sweet he loved, and we're both chocolate fans. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just gonna pop this on and be careful that I don't go all the way to the edge. This too could be popped up, but I'm trying to preserve the foam I have because it got a low, so we're all good. Just want to make sure that stays. So there's my paper piece. I'm going to just take my white gel pen and just do, a little bit of doodling here. I think this is precious. Again, so much you could do with it. Not doing a lot. I might do a few things here. just to give it a little bit of dimension. All right, so now I'm going to bring in my slider box that I'm making for you. I'm just going to leave this up here a little bit and see once if it gets in the way, I'll move it. But first I'm going to give you the dimensions, and again, this is for the Andes Thin Mints box. It's not the Hershey's candy bar. I'll leave those dimensions in the description box. But for this specific box, I did add my couple strips just to save time. But it is blind here, 8 and we'll say 3/4 inch wide, and it is 6.5 inches tall. Let me just verify that's correct. Yes, 6.5 inches. Okay, so then what I did was I scored it at 1/2 inch over here. I just want to make sure I have enough room, you know, to do it. You're going to score at 1/2 inch. You're going to score at, get my ruler on there, 3 and, oh, I have to get this closer. I'm so blind. So my next score is at 3 5/8, this next long one. And then it would be, should be 4 5/8, but let me check. 4 5/8, and goodness, why would anyone write down the dimensions? I just do it each time separate. I don't think I wrote it down. So this next one is 4 5/8. Okay, and then the last one over here is at 1/2, 7 3/4. So 7 3/4 here, because it was, just double check, 8 3/4 inch long. These two pieces, this piece and this piece, these panels here are each, the white part, the score is 1 inch. Then what I did was I took some colored cardstock, cut it at 7 7/8 of an inch wide, and it would be 6 and probably 3/8, yeah, 6 3/8 inch long. This next piece would be 3/4 wide, and then 6 1/4 long. So just basically an 1/8 of an inch difference. And I am using a cardstock that I have. Please, I don't go back and I don't go back and try to, you know, go find all this new cardstock or anything. I just use pattern paper cardstock and put it on. Now I want this flap, let me put it up down this way. I want it so this 1/2 inch flap folds up. So basically I'm working with that at my right side, okay? You can do it however you want. It does not matter. What I'm going to do next, and when I made my Hershey's candy bar wrapper, I did not do this, so it really is easier to do it this way if you, and you'll see in a moment, but this piece is cut, the bottom layer is cut at 3 inches wide and 6 3/8 inch long. So then this top piece would be 2 7/8 by 6 1/4. Yes, it is patterned paper going, you know, one direction. It does not have to be, but for this particular package, for me, it just worked really well with this particular design, and that's why I chose this to go on there, just to give you an idea. Now this would be really cute on a candy bar also. Just size it a little bit smaller if you need for the top. So an idea there. Now I'm going to glue this on this panel, and this is what I did not do before, because you're going to you're going to punch holes at the top, and it's easier. You have to punch through all the layers. So much easier if you have this top panel on. Now, why I didn't think of that or follow the video originally, the directions, one would wonder about me. I get in a hurry and I don't follow the full video the second or third time I've watched it. So if you do the same thing, I get it. And I'm just putting this down. Make sure it's good and glued down. I do not know who, I think it was Chicken Scratch that I watched the original video. I am not sure, and I do apologize. Okay, what I'm doing, I'm going to grab a pencil if I can find it in this mess. I have my T ruler out for a reason. I want to go down about, I think about a half of an inch. I have a computer and not enough space here today. I'm going to move my little paper piece for now. I want to go down about a half of an inch. I think. From the top, which would be about right here. Just going to put a little tick mark. That's not quite far enough down for me by the time I get everything in there. So let's say I'm going to go 3/4. Okay, let's just measure twice, being so much smaller, easier. Actually, it's about 5/8 of an inch down. That's good. But then you also need to find the center between here. So we know the white piece should be, again, it's about 3 1/8. So let's go 1 1/2 and then add a 1/16 of an inch if you wish. If I can see what I'm doing here. So here's 1 1/2 and here's 1/16. So that's what I'm doing there, okay? Now, a little bit of a trick here. You want to measure or line up this score line with this 1/2 inch score line. If you fold this over, fine, but you want to keep, you can see you've got this 1/2 inch folded in, this inch over here. I just want to keep it. What I want to do is I want the paper punch to go through all of my layers, 4 layers, and I want them to be even front to back. It's not as hard as it looks. I'm going to bring in my Big Bite, I think it's called. I don't know. So again, I have this 1/2 inch folded in. I've got my 1 inch flap here, and they're just going to match. So it looks basically like this. There's nothing out. I'm going to get this out of the way though. You can also use the measurements on the Big Bite to figure out how far down you want it to go. I forget about that. But I'm just making sure everything is lined up here. Going to stick it in there. I'm going to use the 3/16 inch hole punch just because I have a little bit bigger ribbon, and I might have to come back and use a different punch yet. I'm not sure. But I'm going to go and hope the camera doesn't move too much. I'm sorry. So I punched through that, so I have my holes there. I can get the ribbon through there, I think. Okay, now you can come back, glue these down, glue this tab to this tab. Put some adhesive on there. I'm not the best of teachers, I will grant you that. I'm very meticulous or precise in what I do, so it takes me a little bit, and I hope these directions are making sense. I just like to fold that in and lay this down. Now, because this is pretty much flat, it's so much easier for me to make sure it's adhered. If you're using double-sided tape, more power to you. I would have things so crooked. I don't know if anyone has ever told you or if you've ever heard that if you use double-sided tape and a wet adhesive, it will give you a lot more wiggle room also, and works wonderful. So here you see, I'm just going to kind of try to bow those up, but you have your pieces together. You can see, you know, it's bowed out, but you can see if you do it, when you get it, the pieces will match up. The holes do line up together. Okay, I'm taking a piece of ribbon. Mine is, I'm measuring for you because I didn't measure before. 24, let's see, about 27.5 inches long. Seems kind of long, but by the time you tie a little bow or anything, it really isn't. Okay, so here comes the moment of truth. If you're using a little bit narrower ribbon or a little bit more flexible ribbon, this will be a little bit easier. This is grosgrain and it's a little bit stiffer, but you need to go through the first hole, and I might need some help with this. So I get my tweezers. Okay, so you're coming in through this. Now you want to go through the back hole here. You want it to go through here. So let's see what we can do with that with the help of the tweezers. We'll just give it a little bit of a push here. And again, if you're using you could use a bigger hole punch, narrower ribbon. I'm using the ribbon I have in my stash. I hope you can see you're going through straight through both of the pieces, front to back, straight through. I have to push mine together because it's so tight. But what I'm doing is I want to take both edges of my ribbon and basically pull on them until they're even, or as closely even as possible. I pulled a little too far. So I'll show you at the other end here in a moment. So I've got them, you know, my pieces here. I think they're going to be pretty close. I'm going to try to keep them straight. Now my other edges on the end pretty much close, you know, together. Okay, so I'm going to hold this box open. Take my Andes Thin Mints candy bar here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, so we got the top here. Either side of the Andes side you want, just slide it in here, and what you want it to do is it's going to push this middle ribbon down. Okay, so because again, wonderful ribbon I used, and I'm just trying to make sure it stays pretty much straight, so I'm going to hold it here. Sorry about that, it got a little bit blurry. So push it so it's, your box is pretty much even here, and at the end there's going to be, I have it just like about a 1/16 of an inch, an 1/8 of an inch, I'm not sure, a gap here on both front and back, or top and bottom, no big deal. But then what I'm going to do is tie this together. Don't know if I'm going to tie it in a knot. I haven't decided. I mean in a bow. I'm going to see if it's enough room. Oh, wait for my computer to wake up here. I should have had a little bit longer ribbon, and if I don't like this one, I have another piece here, but I'm just going to try this for now. It just kind of matches the colors, and yeah, I don't like that bow, so I'm just going to leave it loose for now. I might come back and change it, I don't know. But what happens is when you pull on this, and you know, I'm going to put it tight in a knot. I'll have to explain it to her anyway, because it's like a lot of people, you know, you don't do crafts, you don't completely get the gist of it. You don't know how it works, so I'm just going to tie it in a knot. It's not going to matter. So now, pull on your ribbons, and voila, you have a slider coming out and your candy is out. Pull it all the way to the end and you get your box out. And I'm just pushing on the end, as you can see, and it goes back together. And again, I'm sure you've seen this before, and then I'm just going to pop this on the top, and I'm good. Now, again, you could add some rhinestones, and I might see what I have in my stash just to add a little bit, just a little glamour it up a little bit, you know. And you could pop this title up. You could do a lot of things. I just thought it was a quick and cute little Valentine package for her. You could have a vertical paper piece, so it was going, you know, this way. All good. So, let me take a look here. I've got different things I want to see what I've got. Oh, that was a little louder than I expected. Oh, let's see. I see some pink ones in here I think I might check out. Don't know if I want. It's hard to tell when I don't. Have to cover them up to kind of see. I like these bright ones the best. The hot pink for this specific project. So I'm just going to see once. I think I'm going to put, goodness, I hope I don't lose these along the way. Some glue on there a little bit. And you could use rhinestones, a little bit of everything. And I have 3 different sizes, so that's what I'm going to use. I lost when I got to grab it somehow. Excuse my reach. You could also put a sentiment. I am leaving the back of mine plain, just the plain white. You could decorate it if you want. Choosing not to. Excuse my fingers, my fingers are always inky. I go to work that way. No one sees us. We sit in an office and just our coworkers. They don't quite understand what I do until I show them something, and then they don't believe I made it half the time. So why do you suppose my fingers are always so colorful? Oh, stay there. Just adds a little bit. You could do something here, but I'm choosing not to because I only have so many. But anyway, that's a quick share of that, how I did that. Again, I'm sure you know how to do the slider box, but there were some questions, so I get that. I live on YouTube, so I understand when people are not sure how to do things. But I am going to put a piece of white paper down and share with you. I'll leave that up there. My treat boxes, my popcorn boxes, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've got about 16 or so of them, 15. I will try to be fairly quick, and hopefully I can remember where the pieces are from. I don't know. I'll try to remember and show you, what I did with all of them. But the first one is, I'm going to get this moved a little bit, is from Doodlebug Designs. I just zoom in a little bit here so you can maybe see them a little better. Sorry. Hope you're not getting seasick or motion sick, whatever it is. I don't get car sick, so I don't know. Anyway, this is one of the Bumble Bears, and if you just do a search under Bumble Bear, it'll come up that way. Or, yeah, Bumble Bear, I think it's called. So on the wings, I did use some of my Sparkle Noir, just put that on there. On the hearts, and the red hearts and the pink hearts on the antenna, I did use some glossy accents. And then I just took dies that I had from my stash and just added a little bit of background, and I'm good with it coming over the side. It does not bother me at all. And then I see it's a little bit wonky, but It's probably going to get thrown away. It's okay. But then on the white, I did use a small, very old Cuddlebug folder with little mini hearts on there. The popcorn box, I did ink all of the edges here, bottoms and everything. I didn't the first one, and I went back and did it. It added a lot. It just finished off the box. And again, that's just my preference, okay? I don't know the full dimensions of the box itself, but I do know when I maneuvered it, I got it so just not the bottom pieces, but you can manage to measure just, from the top of the scallop to this base piece right here, 4 inches. So then it comes to about 3 inches in diameter when it's put together. My plan is to take little treat bags. I'm going to make puff caramel corn. Put a couple pieces of candy in there, tie up the little treat bag of caramel corn, and then stick it in there. I'm not going to put these in plastic bags. I did one for a friend, that coworker that was leaving. I gave it to her yesterday, and hers didn't have, she had a lot of chocolate in it, but anyway, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put them plain like this. And so that's the first one, just to give you an idea. And I'm going to have to find room for all of these. So, okay. And this one is the bear with, I'm not sure what exactly it's called. I think it was a free file maybe. I'm not sure. It's a bear with Valentine surprise or something. I don't know. This is what I was saying in Liquid. I made this treat box with this title here. Always get the freebies because you never know when you're going to use them. I've had this for a few years, never used it. So again, just to give you an idea. What I also wanted to mention on these popcorn boxes, I use lots of different paper, but if you cut one on a 12-inch piece of paper, only one, kind of position it, and then if it's not a patterned paper direction, like the next one I show you, if the pattern of the paper can go either way, you have to cut them separately, but you can get 2 off of one 12-inch piece of paper. Kind of maneuver it, but it works. So just an idea. But for him, I just added some glossy accents to his eyes and on the light pink on the heart for the bow. And then I just added a little bit of chalk in his ears like he was blushing. So, cute little guy. The boxes are all the same. The pieces are all different size, depending, they're all within about 3.5, 3/4 inch in height. This is the Valentine monkey from Doodlebug Designs. Again, I ran this top heart through the that same embossing folder with the little hearts. Added glossy accents to his eyes. I'm sure you won't be able to see, but there's quite a bubble on there. There may be 2 or 3 layers of glossy accents on just the black part. So, again, I like my glossy accents, so use a lot. Okay, the next one is it's mouse with heart. I'm not positive. It is from Treasure Box Designs, maybe retired. Again, I'm not sure. I gotta put a little bit of glue on here on his tail or I will not remember. Want that to stay down there on the white piece. So on his eyes, I have glossy accents, again, multiple layers, also on the red heart. And then what I do on the whiskers, it's just, let's see, not embroidery thread, it is quilting thread. So this was gray. This was gifted to me, a spool of it, so thank you. And then I just add a little bit of colored pencil for the arms and his feet here, but I kind of get dimension for his hands, and I get a little bit of chalk in his ears. So, and his nose, actually I don't think it'll pick it up, but it has some of the Spectrum Noir sparkle, so it's got a little bit of glitter on his nose. that's that one. And got this little guy. Oh, this is a Kiss Me Cutie, maybe? It is from Treasure Box Designs. I'm pretty sure he's still available. Glossy accents on the top of the Candy Kiss tag that's coming out, and that heart and the eyes, those have a few layers. The X's and O's have a layer of first the Spectrum Noir Sparkle and then one layer of glossy accents. So cute little guy. And thought I dropped one, sorry. This is the oh, it's from Cuddly Cute Designs. It Moose Be Love, maybe? I'm not sure. I love this little guy. I did put glossy accents in his eyes, and the heart has the Spectrum Noir Sparkle, like the glitter stuff, so used a lot of that. And I failed to mention all but 2 of my paper pieces I popped up with foam tape, so yeah, I used a lot of foam tape too. Need to probably purchase some more, but you know. Okay, and this little girl I love. I just don't know what it is about her, but she is so adorable. This is the girl from My Funny Valentine from Little Scraps of Heaven Designs. And this heart I ran through the I think it's Softly Falling embossing folder from Stampin' Up. It's been out quite a while. It's actually supposed to be like snowflakes falling. I just wanted to do something different. And I love her hair, partly because Ginger's running our family, so I just thought that was so cute. Had this file for a long time, never used it. I was kind of intimidated by it. It went together so easy, and it's so stinking adorable. I love it. So I'm actually going to be putting both the boy and the girl, because there's a boy too, together for a card. So for Valentine's Day. And again, just put the little hearts on the back on the embossing folder there. So that's that one. Okay, this is one of my favorite, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up the best, but this is actually the Snowflake Bear. I think he's holding a chain of snowflakes from Little Scraps of Heaven Designs. I love this bear. Just one of my favorite patterns for a bear. One thing I changed is the hearts. The 2 hearts are from the, find it here, you might recognize it. It's actually from the Moose file from Cuddly Cute Designs. Yeah, I wanted a heart, and I don't know that I've had a bear with a heart, so that's why I changed it up. Did some faux stitching on the hands and the rest of it. This little stamp on top, or piece on top, it's popped up on foam tape also. I just took some pink paper, stamped the word love on it, and then I added 2 or 3 layers of glossy accents, so you get what's actually like a, what are those layered stamps, you know, you can get, I forget what they're called, but anyway, it looks like epoxy on it. So that was my favorite one so far. And this pinkish color is the metallic paper. So anyway, get that one going. Sorry, I have a few more to go. So, and I love this love bug. It is from Treasure Box Designs, and I'm almost positive it's still available. The doily is from my stash. It might be one of the Nestabilities. Excuse me, not Nestabilities. Oh, I can't think of the name of them. Maybe. But anyway, it's a doily that I have in my stash. The hearts, on the antennas have the sparkle on that. This pink heart's part of the file. The little hearts on his feet also have the sparkle on it, and his nose has glossy accents. So this is a fun file. This probably, I've got one guy that works in the mornings with us, and so I probably will give that to him. I just thought, yeah, it kind of fit him. He just is He's a wonderful guy. He's so kind and always so friendly. Okay, the next one I have is from Scrap and Bug Designs, and I do apologize. I'm not sure the name of the file. There's like 3 or 4 penguins. I don't know. It's in the Valentine section. This background you can't see very well, but it was put through a 3D embossing folder, so I don't think I have it handy. I might. Let's see. Just looking here quick. I do. It's kind of this, I don't know if it'll show. Let's see if I can find some black paper maybe that's bigger. I don't use it a lot, but I really do like it. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of a quilted effect. And then it really gives you that pop because of the 3D. It's very thick. But that's what's on the white here. And again, glossy accents on the hearts and the little hearts on his feet. So, kind of cute. I just had a lot of fun creating the pieces for these. I'm not sure why, but okay. Then this one is from also Cadoodlebug Designs. One of the Bumble Bears. I think it's in the same set as the first one I showed you. Glossy accents on the antennas of the hearts, the eyes, and the hearts on the feet, and then the sparkle on the hearts there. That was a lot of fun to make. And then I love this bee, all of a sudden it just escaped me. I don't know what it is, if it's the cheeks, I'm not sure, but anyway. So, this one is very simple too. I just have the sparkle on the wings, did a little bit of embossing on that back white piece, and then I do, first of all, on the X's and O's, I have the sparkle, and then I added the glossy accents over it. So, that's actually the first one I put together to see what sizing and stuff, if I even liked them. So, and I do. So, okay, now this one also is from Cadoodlebug Designs, but I think there's maybe a couple of the Bumble Bears. I'm not sure. I really can't remember. But this one has on the wings and on the hearts. First, they both have the sparkle, but the hearts up here have glossy accents, as does this, the dripping honey here and on the honey stick. And after I thought about it, I should have probably put it on the rest of the honey, but yeah, it's okay. So that is that one. That one got just a tiny bit wider, but it's all good. Okay. I said the one with the bear was one of my favorites, or probably my favorite, but I don't know. I'm kind of partial to this little ladybug girl. I just don't know what it is, but I love ladybugs. I guess because my mom had a Mustang, like a 64 or 5 Mustang, and it was more of an orange with the white hardtop, and my niece always used to call that Grandma's ladybug, and it just kind of sticks with me. But so it was fun. Did make one modification on this file I'll share in a moment, but on the wings here and on the bow, again I have the sparkle. On the bow, the heart in the center is just glossy accents, also on the eyes, and then on the blacks of the ladybug spots, and on the little parts of her shoes down there. The one thing I had a really big struggle, and it's only because of the size of the file that I was cutting this at, the antennas, I could not get them cut for anything. So what I took was, and this one I can't keep straight, I don't know, I just give up. I used white flower stamens. It's just one, colored it with my black marker, put it on there, because they're almost this thin. They are incredibly thin. I've made this file larger, had absolutely no problem cutting them. So just wanted to share that that's the one change I did there, but I love this little girl too. There's a set of these. This little girl is from Scrap and Bug Designs, I'm almost positive. If not, no, I shouldn't say that. It might be from Marjorie Designs. I do apologize, but I love that file too. There's a lot of fun things in that. And then my last one, yes, it is for Valentine's Day, even though it doesn't look it. I have a coworker that does not celebrate holidays, and she only comes into the office like twice a month, but she'll be in when I deliver these. I always include her, and I use the base, like it's still the popcorn box. I don't change that. I just change it to something generic that fits the season. This happens to be winter, so that's what I did. This file was a free file from Little Scraps of Heaven Designs. I added the sparkle to the snowflakes and the snow piece. Everything, the snowman is popped up, excuse me, and then on the scarf, I just added a little bit of colored pencil work and add a little bit of color to his cheeks and stuff. So very simple, but she always appreciates, she always tells me, you don't have to do anything for me just because she doesn't celebrate holidays. And I always tell her, that's fine, but there are other ways to incorporate and include her. And she always thanks me for, including her, but respecting that she doesn't celebrate holidays. I just feel that that's important. So anyway, if you have any questions on the pieces that I've shared with you or the box, please leave a message. I will do my best to help you. But thank you all for watching. Have an awesome day, everybody.